Welcome to A Toast to Truth. This is Season 5, Episode 1, 33 and Free. So, this episode's question is, what year did your life finally come together? Before we hop into today's episode and what Season 5 is all about, for all of you new listeners, I want to give you just a little bit of what A Toast to Truth is all about. A Toast to Truth is my observation on hushed business conversations that deserve a public dialogue. These forbidden truths often lead to mental, emotional, and financial frustration because you don't know who you can confide in to talk to about these issues. As your truth confidant, my special guest co-host and I are going to reveal the ugly truths and consequences of life as a real entrepreneur. So catch each episode as we or I give the unfiltered truth. Okay, so now that you know what this podcast is about, let's kind of hop into Season 5 theme. So Season 5 will run from July 2nd to July 30th every Sunday. I'm doing Season 5 in honor of National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. Yes, very long, but it's very important. I chose Season 5 theme. Mental health is not a trend, and I chose it for one reason and one reason only. I am tired of people jumping on bandwagons and hashtags because it's popular, but you have no real vested interest in the actual outcome of it. So I am going to be hitting on mental health topics all season. How does this relate to business? How does this relate to what I do with the Truth Confidant? So let me tell you what the Truth Confidant is before people are like, I don't understand. Who is the Truth Confidant? What is this? Okay. So a lot of you know when I started this podcast, I was running a different business. I was actually in the process of closing that business. That business did close at the end or after Season 4 was over. And I started a new business in January 2017. So here is the new business. The Truth Confidant is a training firm specializing in teaching stressed individuals how to claim their peace using journaling. This is achieved using a self-guided journal, taking one of our specialized courses, or attending one of our events. In other words, the Truth Confidant is a place where stressed individuals can come, learn, grow, get resources, and get connections to the right people to help you become unstressed, to learn how to de-stress, to learn how to get your peace. And a lot of times we don't know how to get our peace because we've never seen it in our own life. You need a guide, and I am your guide to peace. Now, another thing about us not being able to see peace in other people in our life is something, especially in the African American community, is not common. We're supposed to be these strong Black women. Well, guess what? I did a whole episode on strong Black women in Season 4. So you need to check that out. We're also labeled as like angry Black women. In Season 2, Episode 13, I believe it was the last one, my friend Donna and I, we did a whole episode on the angry Black woman. When you think of stress, I think of, and I immediately picture a Black woman. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, that is just going to magnify the level of stress you currently have by like 1,000 times. So it just amplifies what you are already dealing with. And then if you do not have coping mechanisms in place and you're not able to handle and manage the stress that you have, once you handle and manage it, you can begin to remove it. A lot of times we can't remove stress because we don't know what exactly is stressing us out. as an entrepreneur, we have to know what that is because we got to get it removed. We have to get it gone. The reason we have to get it gone, we cannot run a successful business if our mind is cluttered and out of control and just running crazy. Now, with that being said, I am living proof of what happens when you are completely stressed and everything breaks down in your life. I've shared that in the other episodes, but essentially the demise of my previous business was because of stress and depression. And it was untreated depression until I went and saw a therapist and I learned what I needed to learn. Thus, me creating season 5's theme, mental health is not a trend. This is real for too many people. This is real. This is one of those hushed business topics that people don't want to talk about. Oh my God, we can't talk about Vernetta because, she suffered from depression or she may be depressed. Okay, so you're going to let me sit there and continue to be depressed? You're not going to ask me if I'm depressed? You're not going to offer me resources? Now, on the other hand, you can't just walk up to any random person and ask them, are they depressed or do they suffer from a mental illness? That's just something you don't do for everyone. However, if you see someone is struggling, it is okay for you to reach out to them and say, hey, I'm here for you. And when you are here for someone, that means you are there without giving your opinion. You are not trying to tell them what to do. You would not even suggest what you would do. All you do is listen. If you cannot listen, then you need to refer them to someone who can. Maybe a counselor or a therapist. And if you want a good therapist, I would say you need to hop on board to the Detox the B.S. Summit, and that way you can get to know more of the therapists who will be speaking at the summit this month for the Truth Confidant. Now, I really am just enamored by all the stuff that I see on social media about mental health, see a therapist. And I know I don't have title, so I don't even know what Jay-Z put in his album. I just saw a lot of people posting that Jay-Z talked about going to a therapist, and now all of a sudden people are like talking about a therapist. Before then, when regular people were talking about therapy, no one really got into it. When celebrities started talking about it, okay, it's cool. Now that Jay-Z says it, oh wow, we all need to go see a therapist. It's not a trend. You really need to be invested in your self-development. What the Truth Confidant is definitely a self-development firm, because in order for you to be the best entrepreneur you can possibly be, you need to be your best self. Honestly, 2017 is my best year in business because I am my best self. I have had more opportunities come my way. I have been able to do more in my business because I am my best self. I did not become my best self listening to someone else's rap lyric. I became my best self when I looked in the mirror and I realized I wanted something better for myself. And I also said I wanted peace. For years, I claimed I wanted peace. But I didn't know how to get it because everyone around me was just happy, but they weren't at peace. They were always stressed, but they managed. We just get through it. I didn't want to get through life anymore. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be that person who woke up with no stress, no burdens weighing me down the moment I opened my eyes. That is why I worked on myself for 2.5 years. That is why those of you who see me now in 2017, and you're like, oh my God, dang, Vernetta, this is your season. This is your life. I'm hearing it all the time. You know why it's my season? Because I worked to get to this season. This season did not happen by happenstance. I worked 2.5 years to better myself. I planted seeds years ago. I nurtured them. I may have been depressed. I may have been, unable to handle things, but I continued to put in the work. I continued to go to conferences, put myself out there, put my name out there, go to networking events, meet people, create products, even though most of them failed, create service. I continued to work, even though it was a complete and utter chaotic mess. I would not recommend that you do that. What I would recommend is that you try to be more strategic and make wiser decisions than I did. However, you don't want to give up if you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you know what you're doing or not. You have to go out and be your best self, number one, and then you go and get guidance. Okay, the right guidance, because I've already talked about that in season 1, about how you can, hire the wrong coach. You don't want to do that. Definitely. You hear me? You definitely don't want to do that. So let me go and explain why mental health is not a trend. Mental health is not a trend because we're not trying to put people's lives on t-shirts. We're not trying to make a profit off of other people's pain. Mental health is about getting people to being their best self. And as an entrepreneur, you won't believe the issues that pop up in your life once you become an entrepreneur and try to really grow what you're doing, because these were unresolved issues. A lot of Black people have unresolved issues. We've just learned how to get through, but we've never learned how to deal with and then remove. You can always remove situations from your life where they don't have any effect. Consequences do not re-up. Emotional pain does not come back. Triggers are removed. But you have to do the work. There are some of us who need to go to therapy, and then there are some of us who can just learn skills to make sure that if we have something that comes around, we know what to do to protect our emotional and our mental space. When I have issues that pop up, journaling is my go-to thing. I probably last a few hours of moping and being upset about whatever the situation is, but it does not get to go with me to the next day. I cannot have something go with me to the next day because I do not want to get into a depressed state like I lived for 20 years. You cannot be your best self. You can still be successful. The thing is, a lot of people didn't even know I suffered from depression. I accomplished more as a depressed person than some people accomplish and they weren't depressed. I knew how to get through, but I didn't know how to live my life. And in order to be a very effective and productive entrepreneur, you have to merge the two. Your life and getting through, you have to be able to merge, because it's just one big, path, one big journey. You cannot have two journeys at the same time. That's when you are going to get to places where you would have to make decisions. And if you decide on living your life, then your business may suffer. If you decide I'm going to be more productive, then your personal life may suffer. You have to be able to get to a point where I know this I'm going to have to take a backseat on, and you have to accept that. So for me, for my business, I needed to do something that I'm number one good at. I'm excellent at teaching writing. I've taught ESL, which is English as a second language, for 10 years. And writing is my sweet spot. My students come out, writing better than a lot of Americans, because I'm a doggone good writing teacher. I said, okay, I've learned journaling, I've done the research, and I can teach writing. So I'm using a skill. Journaling is a very effective and beneficial mental health tool that a lot of people are jumping on a trend for. A lot of people are looking at journaling. You get on Instagram, you see all these beautiful handwritten journals, all these colorful journals, pretty decorations. It's all color coordinated. But I wonder how many of those people who are posting are fighting within themselves things that they have not actually resolved. I don't have that. I don't have a fight. I have what I used to have. Do things pop up in my life every single day? Every freaking day. Every freaking day. But I know how to deal with it where it does not overtake my life. See, that's the difference. I can deal with something. I'm not going to just get through it. I deal with it. I handle it. I look at the situation and there is going to be a solution. And that solution is going to be implemented. And that situation is no longer a situation because I have handled it. I have Olivia poked my situation. Okay. And that's because I learned skills through journaling. And because I've learned these skills through journaling, they have made me a better leader for the Houston African American Bloggers Association. Like, I was always a type A type of organized person, but HAB is growing in such a way because the leadership team, number one, is awesome. The co-organizer, the other ladies on the leadership team, the members, amazing. Like, the people in HAB are great. But as the organizer, I have to put it all together. And I can do it so much better now than when I started. Because when I started HAB, I hadn't even realized that I was suffering from depression. This is how I realized that I was suffering from depression. A friend messaged me on Facebook and was like, "You're completely out of character. We need to talk." And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, let me talk to someone because I need to vent because I'm having a really horrible, pissy day and I need someone. We talked for like 2-3 hours. She's a spiritual advisor. And so we went through some of her techniques. Like, I did a complete session with her. And I did not realize how many repressed feelings and situations and emotions that I had because I never dealt with them. So we got through a lot of gunk. And then I blew up at someone on my job at the time. And I realized this is not the person I want to be. Because this is not me. This is stuff that I am allowing to color and paint me in the eyes of other people. So I went to therapy. I went to an emotional freedom technique therapist. And I did that for 2015. I learned journaling. I picked up journaling. And then I was like, you know what? I remember it. It was August 2015. I woke up one day and I was just like, I'm not mad anymore. What is this feeling? Like, what is this? And I said, this is it. This is what it feels like. And ever since I woke up in August 2015, I have worked every single day to maintain this feeling or to make it better. But it will never be worse. I will not allow that. While I was working on myself, I kind of let my previous business, kind of slide to the point where it is now extinct. But I'm sharing all of this, the theme, and I'm going to get to today's topic, but I'm sharing the theme because mental health is so important that we do discuss, but we discuss it in a way that's going to help people and support people and encourage people, not in a way that we can profit off of other people's pain and slap some sayings on a t-shirt and say, I support people with mental health. Okay, if you really support somebody with mental health, then go to an AA meeting with them if they, suffer from alcoholism. If they are depressed, you need to check in on them. Send a text message every few days. Call them. Go and check on them once or twice a month. Like, you have to be invested in other people's well-being if you are not suffering from a mental health disease or illness. If you are, then you need to go and do what you need to do to better yourself. Work on self-development in order to live your purpose. Everybody's talking about purpose. Live your purpose. Live your passion. If you want to do that, then you need to be your best self. You cannot live your purpose. I mean, I wish I could clap and something y'all can see this. You cannot live your purpose if you are not your best self, because your purpose will never be fulfilled completely if you are not your best self. That is why I started the Truth Confidant, because I know how crucial it is for you to be your best self. I know what it's like to lose everything you've worked for because you are not your best self. I have lost my home. I have lost my car. I have lost friendships. I have lost jobs. I have lost a business. I have support. My family, my immediate family, has been there for me. However, I didn't share with them everything I was going through because I didn't want to be a burden on them. And that's why a lot of people don't share when they have a mental health situation or an illness. They don't want to be a burden to someone else. If you do not speak up, you cannot have support when you need it. Then you cannot go and say that people don't support you. And then also, I need to make this very clear for a lot of people. Those of you who continue to post on Facebook and other places on social media, and you say you have a mental illness, but you continue to post messages where no one is there to support you and people are against you and all of this stuff, you are actually repelling people from wanting to help you. Instead of posting on social media, you should probably be journaling. You should probably see a therapist. You should probably do more constructive things instead of saying what other people are not doing for you. Because guess what? It is your life. And if you want your life to get better, then you have to put in the work, because no one else can put in the work for you to be you. I'm going to leave it at that as we get ready to take a sip. Are you looking to gain independence? Tired of struggling? Ready to live your life in peace? If so, join us July 17th through the 20th for Detox the B.S. Summit. And what is BS? Burdening stress. It's a 4-day phenomenal experience led by myself, Vernetta, 2 journaling experts, and a therapist. Can't watch it live? That's okay. You can still get the replays. Go to gum.co, that's gum.co/Detox the B.S. 2017. Again, that's gum.co/Detox the B.S. 2017. Okay, so let's kind of like turn things around, turn that frown upside down. And do people still say that? I don't know, but I just did. So, okay, so let's get into episode 1. Episode 1 is 33 and Free. That's me. Yesterday was actually my birthday, my 33rd birthday. I am the same age as Jesus. Yeah, my sister laughed when I told her that, but it is true. I am the same age as Jesus. He was 33, unfortunately, when he was crucified. However, Jesus was also 33 when his purpose was fulfilled. So going back to the question, what year did your life finally come together? I did that twice because I want y'all to know my life came together at year 33. I have been working towards this year, and I am blessed and honored and highly favored to be at 33. And I am so excited because this is my season. I claim it. I worked for it. And I'm not ashamed to say this is my season. I'm excited because the things that are happening in my life are things that I only imagined could ever happen, because I never really believed they could happen, because I never really believed that my life could be so good, that my life could be so amazing. Do I have troubles? Yeah, everybody has troubles. Do I have things that upset me and piss me off? Yeah. But it is not the dark cloud that's overtaking my life like it used to do. I now have my journals my journaling techniques that I teach in my Facebook group, The Truth Confidant with Vernetta or Freeney. I teach every Sunday at 6 p.m. Unless there's a reason I can't teach, but you will get a lesson nonetheless every Sunday. And I teach different ways to make journaling simple and something you can do in 10 minutes or less. That's how my daily emails are. I'm daily emailing you so that you can see how simple it is to journal for 10 minutes a day. Back to me. And, what does 33 mean to me? This is my year of IDGAF. And if you know what that means, then you know what I'm talking about. I don't give a flip because I'm living my life. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to live my best life. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to do the things that I've always wanted to do. And I'm going to do them whether other people agree with them or not, whether other people like them or not, because I'm not asking other people to fund my dreams. I'm not putting out a GoFundMe to live my best life. What I am doing is pouring into myself every single day. That's why I journal. I am pouring into myself because when Vernetta wakes up, Vernetta is going to be her best self and Vernetta is going to live her best life. I lived 20 years of my life in depression and I refuse to live that way anymore. And I can't get back those years that I lost. There are huge gaps in my memory because of the depression. I can't remember parts of my childhood that other people vividly described to me, and I'm just looking at them with this blank face like, okay, because I don't remember it. What I do want to do is enjoy and live each and every moment from this day forward, remembering it, savoring it, making it feel as if it's the best moment I could possibly live. 33 is a year that I did not know I could get to because I did not know if I was going to be here or not. Now, I was not contemplating suicide. I am going to talk about suicide though this season, but I never contemplated suicide. I just always had this feeling of I don't belong here. I don't want to be here. But I never had suicidal thoughts. So yes, you can still not want to be present in your life and not think about suicide at the same time, because that was me. I didn't think I was going to get here because I never saw my life here. Like, everybody I knew was just getting through, and I was like, I'll just have a job, I'll get married, I'll have kids, and then I'll just live life. But no one I knew was really happy. Like, you can always tell when people are unhappy. You get in their atmosphere and you feel that negative vibe, that stress, or whatever negative emotion is like oozing off of them. I had that same feeling, even though it was like on the phone with another entrepreneur recently. I was talking to this entrepreneur. I want to do business with this entrepreneur. And from the moment I got on the phone, it was like non-stop negative, draining, sinking feeling that I felt. And I felt bad for this entrepreneur because I'm like, you used to be peppy when I wasn't peppy. So I don't know if this entrepreneur is going through something or if life has beat this person down. But I know that if I were a customer that did not know this particular entrepreneur and they spoke to me in that such draining feeling of, I don't really want to be here, or I really don't want to talk to you, then I probably would not do business with that person. So if you were an entrepreneur and you were like oozing negative vibes, no one is going to want to do business with you. I've learned that. I could be the smartest person in the room, but if I'm oozing negative vibes, no one wants to have negativity thrown on them, rubbed on them, or, just in their area, in their atmosphere. That was something I needed to shake off of me. People see me now, they see that I'm happy. They're like, I want to live in peace like you. They're like, you're so funny. I did not change. What I did, I started unpeeling all of these layers that I had, protecting myself from hurt that I thought other people would throw at me that I could not handle. Now that I have removed all of these layers, I mean, honestly, there's only one thing, and I keep saying this one thing I'm struggling with. Good God, if it's this one thing that I can finally let go, I'm sure life will be hella good. But this one thing pertains to another person, another individual, and I'm just really trying to shake this person. We'll see how that goes. But what I can say is, minus this one person, minus this one situation, I don't have any baggage. I don't have any layers. And even with this particular person in the situation, I don't have any negative vibes or negative feelings towards this person. I just really realize that I have let go of everything that I need to so that I can grab hold of opportunities that come my way. Like, for example, I worked with AT&T at the Black Enterprise Summit in May 2017. I was like, what? AT&T contacted me. And then they were like, we want you to cover the Black Enterprise Summit. And I'm like, what? Summit's going to be in Houston? What? I wanted to go. What? So not only do I get to go, but I'm going and I'm getting paid. And, I met some really awesome people. I had a really good time. But, it was just one of those moments where you're like, of all the influencers in Houston, I'm one of 2 from Houston chosen. I was just like, oh my God, this is what I've been working for. And I could not get opportunities like this because I was oozing bad vibes. When you free yourself of those negative and bad vibes that you're holding on to, those business opportunities will reveal themselves to you. And, oh my God, another good thing that has come. I wanted to speak at this particular conference. I found out about it really late. I wanted to be a sponsor. Things didn't work out. So I, submitted this year to be a sponsor. I saw that they're doing a pop-up event later this year, and I didn't see my name. I didn't get an email, and I was just like, okay, maybe I just can't speak at this particular conference. Not even 24 hours later, I get an email from this particular conference, and I'm speaking at the conference next year. A whole year before the conference, and I'm already being contacted. And I'm like, are you serious? So these opportunities that I am getting now were opportunities I was trying so hard to get 1-2 years ago, and I couldn't get them. The reason I am getting them now is because I'm free. I am in that year, that season of my life where things are coming together, where things are falling into place. And I'm like, okay, Vernetta, I can do this. What is something else I want? Let me go work for it. I'm not saying, oh, it's going to fall into my lap. I'm saying, what can I do to position myself to attract the attention of people I want to work with. So I am doing that. I am putting in the work. What I want to know from all of you, or, something you got to think about. What are you doing to get to the year where everything falls together? Things don't just happen because they happen. Things happen because you put all the pieces together. Once all the pieces are together, then they can fall into place and create the picture, the life that you want. I had to learn that. I have to put all of the pieces, or I have to create all of the pieces. They will come together, but I have to create the pieces in order for them to come together. So that is what I have been doing through all of my chaotic states. I have been creating pieces of my life, and now they are slowly coming together. And I say slowly because things aren't moving as fast as I would like. However, I can't rush success, and I can't rush something that I have been subconsciously fighting for most of my life. We have to also look into our subconscious state of mind, because our subconscious state of mind could also be preventing us from having the things and doing the things that we need to do in business. Like, we're like, oh, I want this big contract. What if your subconscious mind is sabotaging this big contract that you want? You got to think about that. And you probably don't even know you're self-sabotaging because you haven't dealt with repressed feelings, emotions, and situations. I know this is not sexy, it's not pretty. Journaling is not, some people like, oh, I don't like to write. I don't want to write. It's too time consuming. I don't know what to write. Let me put it to you this way. What can you lose from journaling? If you are an entrepreneur, what can you lose from journaling? Even if you're not an entrepreneur and you're listening to this podcast, what can you lose from journaling? If you're posting cryptic messages on Facebook, then you can easily write those same cryptic messages in a journal. If you say you don't have time, you can sit 5 minutes a day with the timer on your phone, 5 minutes, write in a journal, and then when that timer goes off, you're done. I don't know what to say. What are you saying on Facebook? That's what you could be saying in your journal instead of writing it on Facebook. Let me tell you why. You should probably write it in a journal and not on Facebook. What you write on Facebook could be turning away potential customers and clients. I know people did not work with me when I was putting certain things online. Am I still unfiltered? Absolutely. However, I know that there are certain things that I just probably shouldn't put, like certain opinions of mine I should probably not put online, and that's okay. Doesn't mean I'm filtering myself because I still have those opinions, but it means I'm not sharing that opinion with the world. So there's a difference between being unfiltered and exposing yourself. I'm unfiltered because I say what I believe, but I don't have to expose what I believe to everyone all the time like I did in the past. When you expose yourself to everyone with your misdeeds, your hurts, your pains, your situations, your trials, your tribulations, you could be turning off people, because honestly, nobody likes to be around Sally the sad face person. They just don't. Even if they're a sad person, they don't want to be around another sad person. I know they say misery loves company, but honestly, I see a lot of people who are miserable who don't want to be around other miserable people. They want to be around happy people to bring them down. So you got to watch that too. You have to watch that too. You have to be able to put boundaries up. And I talk about all of these things in my journaling series in my Facebook group. But what I want to really tell you guys about what 33 means to me. 33 and free means that I am living as Vernetta or Freeney every single day that I wake up. I'm not hiding who I am like I did. I'm not covering who I am. I'm not trying to pretend that I'm someone else or to act a certain way. I am me. I have accepted who I am. I acknowledge who I am. I like who I am. I love who I am. And that is why I'm able to move quickly in the Truth Confidant way more quickly than I did with Women Are Game Changers. Because I can see BS coming a mile away. And I'm not talking about BS burden and stress. I'm talking about real BS. I'm able to see it. I'm able to prevent myself from being attached to it. I'm able to say, you know what, this is not going to be a good business move. Have I made some slip-ups? Yeah, I wanted to have an event. It just didn't take off. I also tried to have the event when I started the business. Like, I started the business in January. I wanted to host an event in January on journaling, and it wasn't enough time for people to make the transition. Even though I spent all of 2016 talking about Truth Confidant, I was using different words, different language words. Once I found the language of my audience, things have been able to connect. That is something I learned in the previous business. I like big words. I'm a writer. I teach writing. I like words. But your audience may not like big words. You have to speak the same language. My audience is dealing with stress and frustration, because that stress and frustration can lead to depression. So I speak in those words. People in my audience want peace. That's what people are buying my journal. They want peace. So I created a journal to help you work and put things in your life so that you can get to peace. I am guiding you to peace. But I had to learn certain things about business so that I could do this business the right way, the correct way, and make money. I mean, it is a business after all, so I do need to make some money. But it's nice when people are like, I bought your journal. And I am going to have a new printer for the journal. So if you want to hurry up and get the Truth Confidant journal, you need to, because at the end of this summer, I am switching printers so that the price will go down. And then also the journal has changed. I have revised it. So if you want to go ahead and start the process, you can get the digital copy and join my Facebook group and then learn through the training videos. I already have like 30 videos in there. 30 training videos that you could take advantage of. But for me, being free means being myself. And I wouldn't want to be anyone else, because I actually do like who I am. I'm cool with her. She's cool with me. We get along very well. And I don't feel obligated to seek out other people's approval of me. And you need to get to that point where you're comfortable and you're cool with you. Because once you're cool with you, you can run your business without any subconscious thoughts creeping in, trying to tear away what you are creating and what you are building. Because if your subconscious is coming in saying, no, you're not good enough, then it's going to start tearing away and tearing apart what you are creating and building and growing in your business. When you are free, you have nothing holding you back, because you can always silence outsiders. But if you haven't learned to silence the doubt that wants to live in your mind, you won't be as successful, as productive, as profitable as you would like. Okay, So I wanted to be a little happy, and then I got a little deep, and then, we had to go there, but we needed to go there because this season I'm talking about mental health is not a trend. If you want to be your best self, if you want to have a successful business, you got to really decide what it is I'm going to do. What decision am I going to do? And how am I going to make that decision possible? Like, what is your I am statement? My I am statement is I am peace. And I live that every day because I've been able to create my life in that direction. I teach that in my Facebook group because you have to know what you want, what you are. I am peace. My peace may come off a little bit more aggressive than other people. That's okay. That is okay. Because I wake up in a good mood. I wake up and I have no stress weighing me down. I wake up every day knowing that I get to do the things that I enjoy and love. But I'm also making money. And that's what you want to do in business. And if you want to make money in business, you have to be your best self. And I would highly suggest you get my digital version of the Truth Confidant Journal because it will help you shift your life into living your I am statement. We are going to get ready for the final toast. So my final toast for episode 1 is, when you get to know who you are, you will be able to see life in a different perspective. But you have to know who you are. Getting to know who you are is probably one of the best things that you can ever do for yourself. Get to know who you are. All right, y'all. It has been real. This is Season 5, Episode 1, 33 and Free. And I will see you guys next week for Episode 2. And don't forget, this is National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And we're talking about mental health is not a trend.
This is Vernetta R. Freeney bringing you another episode and season of A Toast to Truth. To catch up on all past episodes, go to VernettaRFreeney.com and click podcast.
I will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.